Welcome, fellas, to the pre-show of the MIRD, basically. What we're doing is I'm gonna, so we have it like all fancy and nice. I'm gonna show off all the cars we have in this beautiful tournament, giving some time to the people that are late, maybe, and also so you can see all the cars in their full glory. So that's cool, because when they're on the track, you probably won't have enough time to appreciate them. Oh, MIRD backwards is the drim. Let the drim be real. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna start off with the first car. This is the 00 of Scott Matthews. This car was submitted by Ninja Penguin. His sponsor is the Mime Union of America, or the MUA. Pretty simple car. It got some flames because flames make you go faster. Sadly, so I don't have like a story for all of the cars, but some have a bit of backstory, or at least we came up with a bit of backstory. So basically, the driver of this car isn't the Mime, but the pit crew is. That's basically the story, because he put not much. That was basically the reason. So the Mime Union gave like an ultimatum: we're only gonna sponsor you if you give some of our mimes a job, and they're now his pit crew. So they might not look like mimes, but they're definitely under that visor. Under the visor, they're mimes. What if I never appreciate anything anyways? Any bitch. This is the number 1 driven by Winfrey Schrock, sponsored by Ocean, which is the the company, the main company in the story that Max is writing, who also submitted and made the skin. He submitted this car and he made the skin all by himself. He has also some other sponsors on there, like the Linux Penguin and GIMP and Godot, which I think is a game engine. Yeah, basically Winfrey Schrock is a former employee for Ocean, and he decided that his calling was the racetrack. He was driving as a hobby forever, and then Ocean came and said, we can give you a place in the MIRD, and now he's taking his chance, trying to impress his sponsors and also himself, basically. Penguin. He's also here we have the 02, the number 2, Mecha Spider, given by Mecha Spider and sponsored by the Spider Co., which is a company that produces spiders, I guess. I'm not sure why it's the Spider Co., but it's the Spider Co., and they're sponsoring this car. It's black and green, and it has a star in the number. That's pretty cool. No, I like this design. It is another black car. We have quite a few of these, but I think it's unique enough with the green. Gives a bit of an army vibe with the star too, I would say. Next up, number 5, Avensis Flower Child, sponsored by Pidget Inc., which is a postage service that also carries Cyniquils. This was submitted by Scorpion, and it is also the first car that is part of a team, which we don't have that many of. But if you want to form a team, I don't know if Godfall's gonna hurt me for saying this, but I'm gonna allow forming teams until after the 4th race. So if you are still be like, oh, I want to win the team points, then you can do that until the 4th race, before the 5th race, basically. If you find new friends, you can do that. He is one of 2 cars of Team Pepega. Also, teams are not limited in numbers. You can have as big as a team as you want. Yeah, Team Pepega, he came up with that name. Don't ask me why. Apparently, they flipped a coin or something on what one they should choose. Yeah, number 5, have some freaking waves. It's pretty cool. Next up, the number 10, one of the few Fords in the field, Jaffa Cake, which sponsor is Jaffa Cake, but not the real one is just a cake that also has chocolate and oranges. It's completely different. I should read chat while I'm doing this. Yeah, Jaffa cake. Got some cool little cakes on there. Number 10 with the blue and the orange, like the box that we are totally not referencing. Also not part of the team. Provided by Jaffa, obviously. Which is Jester's girlfriend, which is also the next car, Ace, Master of Segways. This is the number 13 of Jester's last name. If I'm not sure if this is his last name or if he was just like signing up for the race league and was like, "Oh, I'm Jester. Sir, we need your last name." "Oh, I'm Jester." Like just some really cool edgelord, who knows. He's sponsored by Jestertainment, twitch.tv/Jestertainment. If you haven't heard of him, you probably never heard of that guy. Number 13. I actually had to make some moves so he gets that number, because the next car wanted the number 13 first, but I made him move because I'm a nice guy like that. Number 14, Nola. Nyoa is the first name. I'm gonna butcher that while I'm casting. Holy shit. Nola. Sponsored by Soda Choco, the only soda that tastes like chocolate, and it's also brown, because that's a very specific requirement that they wanted, that it's also very brown. It's pretty cool design. Black in the front, red in the back, casual in the front, party in the back, or murder in the back, I guess. But there's also blood in the front, so it's murder in the front, murder in the back. Not much to say about this one. But they did really good in all the test races, so this is probably the car to watch. The car to be the favorite in the series coming up, at least if we consider the test races to be canon, and I don't. Next one is Fast Boy, but in lead speak, because that's cool, and I'm not old enough. I'm too old. I'm not cool enough to understand that. It's number 21. It's sponsored by the Poorly Drawn Snack Company, or PDSC for short. And I really love that the logo design forms a question mark. I asked Bingle about this, and she said that was totally like an accident. But it fits so well, so I love it. This car is really visible because it has pink polka dots. Can I grab a bath? Probably. Just put me on your phone. It's not gonna take too long, but if you want to take a bath, have fun. Splish splash. I'm gonna stop you. Fun fact, in the US there are peanut butter bacon milkshakes. Don't drink Choco Soda is weird when the US exists. Don't think Choco Soda is weird. Yeah, I guess. Number 26, Jazz Cranston. Sponsored by Jazz Cranston, the streamer, twitch.tv/Jazz Cranston. At least I think that's his Twitch ID. I never watch him. I'm sorry, Jazz. I'm gonna tune into one of your streams at one point. But I hear they're really good. I hear a lot of people say a lot of good things about his streams. Jazz, number 26, has like his trademark cocks all over the place and his normal logo. Also not in the team. Next up, another car that is in the team, Cheryl Mirdo, number 42, a number that was heavily requested as well. I had to tell a lot of people that they cannot have this. Number 42, Cheryl Mirdo, sponsored by Mirdo's Summer Treats, which is an ice cream company. And if you are confused by this, because I'm Mirdo, but this is not my car, this is a reference to a forum game that me, Lord, who submitted this car, and Violet, that's also gonna play in her character from that phone game, hosted. That was basically a spoof of the Apprentice, the show that Donald Trump used to have. And so she basically played in that story my wife, and this is how Cheryl Mirdo happened. So we are also all competing under the Mirdo Incorporated banner, and we are right now the biggest team in numbers, so the corporation always wins. Next up, number 45, the lovely, the wonderful Binglepin. also known as Super Bingle in this. Her driver is called Super Bingle. She has number 45, a lot of a very colorful car, also pretty visible. And also she has her Twitter on her back, which is great. But this is also the car of the person that made all the skins. Most of them, except for Max's, he made his himself. But yeah, she made all the skins, so you should definitely tell her how you feel about that, and maybe give her a follow on Twitter at Binglepin, because holy fuck, she did some amazing work. And all the technical shit you're gonna see today, like the graphics we're gonna have later for after the race, are made by the car I'm gonna mention when it comes up. So just so Grot doesn't be like, oh, you're not gonna tell me about it. Silent here by text cause of doing stuff. Cool. Hi Jazz, how are you? Also, if you want to form teams, please tell me in a different chat, maybe Discord or Facebook, so I can keep track of that. I'm gonna fill that out after this stream. I'm gonna make that happen with Quad Daddy. Next up, number 51, Joseph Peter Pinkelmann, which is sponsored by Vulcan Rubber Quality Plungers. The best plungers around, I've been told. Pretty basic car, but with a strong independent number, and a bit of mud splatter around the tires, because it's gonna get dirty. Next up now, 53, Abara Afolabi, one of the more exotic countries in our field. This driver is from Algeria, the only African country that is used in this championship. Sponsored by Spectacular Pastimes, one of the a service that provides video games to the masses. Pretty popular, but they had a bit of controversy because of exclusivity of a certain game about borders and all that shit. Yeah, number 53. This is submitted by Geki Zaidini. I think that's how I pronounce it. Fuck, I'm gonna butcher that. And the 51 was by Charlie Fox 93. I think it's 93. Next up, number 55. Jane Sen, sponsored by Cinderhatch. I didn't even put in the team name because this is the second car. This is the second car of Team Pepega, together with Avenza's Flower Child. Sponsored by Cinderhatch, the company that uses Cinderquills to hatch eggs. Which is, I don't know if that's that efficient, but probably works. I'm sorry. Whoops. Next up now, 59, Raven Cronwell, one car that in the test runs usually ran about like pretty high to mid, usually pretty average. Definitely one of the cars to look out for. It's also not hard to see it on the track because it's very vibrant, very different colors. It was supposed to be only the blue feathers, but they added the pink pedals because of his teammate. He is one half of Aogiri Heel, and he also shares the sponsor Pookie Sticks with his teammate. That's gonna come up later, 10 numbers down actually. Yeah, this is probably because it looks very much like an Hawaiian shirt. This is maybe one of my favorite designs. There's a lot of really good ones. Bingle really knocked out the park. What's good? Jesus. I'm not watching the chat for like 10 seconds and everything goes crazy. Anyway, number 62, the chairman of the board of Mirdo Incorporated. It's Vincent Mirdo, with his own show on the car. The Seagull's Apprentice, of course, sponsoring his car with an angry bird on the hood, as it is supposed to be. Yeah, 1/3 of Mirdo Incorporated, the biggest team right now in the field. But I saw there is also a 3-man team already, or maybe even 4, forming. So we'll see about it. So the team things are maybe gonna be interesting later down the line. Number 68, Chiquito Milka, sponsored by the Flock TCG, an upcoming German TCG team. You should check them out on Twitter at the Flock TCG, who I'm in real life is also part of. I'm actually the founder, but yeah. So this is submitted by Gary or Chiquito on some, like he switches his name, but I think on Twitter he's Gary1398. Yeah, I think that sounds right. Yeah, so that's his car with the Flock logo, and he didn't have a lot of time to practice because he was one of the, I think he was the last sign up except for Groton Bingle. Number 69, the other half of Aogiri Heel, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Birds ate baby turtles? No, they don't. Shut up. Number 69, this number was heavily requested by pretty much everybody and their mom, but he took it first. It's Kawaii Mekdezu, also sponsored by Pookie Sticks and part of Aogiri Heel. This is where the rose petals came from, so because they started to form. So basically, Raven already submitted his sign up, and then he decided to form a team with STH, who is the of this, and then he decided to add some rose petals to his car too, and it fit really nicely. Next up, Andy's car, number 75, the Avenger. He wanted to stay blank. He only has a white car with the 75 in a bit of a shutter look. And he decided to stay blank. Yeah, that's his thing. And also he's the only driver from the Netherlands in the field. We don't have that many countries, but there's a few. Next up, number 77, Speedy Max Zoom Zoom, sponsored by Strong String, the strongest glue in the West. Also, a lot of cool S's on his car because you gotta have a cool S. You gotta have a really cool car if you wanna go really, really, really make zoom zoom. Why is Sakura not roses? What's going on? Did I say rose petals? I meant fucking cherry blossoms. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's not rose petals. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. These are not rose petals. These are cherry blossoms. I'm stupid. Anyway, 77. Yeah, Speedy McZoom Zoom, also not in a team. There's not much to say about this anymore. I think I already said everything. The third part of Mirdo Incorporated, sponsored by The Knife Factory. She knows why. It's Alana Bordel. I'm also gonna mispronounce that name a lot. Submitted by Violet. Yeah, she was really like the sadistic. So basically, my character in The Seagull's Apprentice was really oblivious and really just a snobby, inherited wealth dickhead, and Cheryl was like a bit of a trophy wife, and and Alana was the polar opposite. Basically, she was like the calculating and the actual really that's really good in the company, really smart, really. Also, but pretty sadistic, so that was her thing, and that's why she has a Knife Factory as her sponsor. Next up, Brian Henderson, number 88, the car that made a bit of a heads turn already, but for all the wrong reasons in the test races. He did two of the test races, came last in the first one he did, and in the second one he went out with a gearbox failure. Immediately out of the pits, not even in the first lap, just out of the pits. Oh my god, already. So they definitely got some ground to make up. They worked on the car all night, I heard, and they're gonna bounce back better than ever. Sponsored by Cook Meadow Together FC. And they definitely want to see their boy win. So we hope that he can bounce back from these unfortunate events and that he can do better. This car is submitted by Gibbo42. Oh god. And the last car in the field, number 91, Grotful Sponsored by his little pet project, streamer.directory, which is a directory for streamers. You should check that at some point. It's also in his Twitter, @Godful. There's a link to that, because I don't know if streamer.directory works. Anyway, I didn't do my research. His car is really art. That's all I can say about it. This car is really art. Hey, it's rock solid. Yeah, I like this car. It's pretty cool. It's definitely pretty unique. Okay, I showed you all of the cars. I'm gonna boop. Now we have full screen again.